are now watching. What you gotta do is get into it.
The number you have dialed. Please note, the new number is.
For a photo around 2009, I was just getting into fitness. As you can see, I was still kind of chubby. I wasn't on top of my fitness game. Lots of stuff to learn, but I had no problems with lupus to this point. I had no issues at all. I didn't even know about lupus. I didn't even know that lupus existed. I didn't even realize that people get sick later in life. If you would have told me I was going to develop a chronic illness, I would have laughed at you around this time. I was that healthy. This is 2019, calm before the storm. I'm standing poolside. I took a couple photos. I always work out, so I told my sister I would take some photos for her photography business, and it worked out pretty well. But this is calm before the storm. The reason I say that is because I had my heart attack a month or two after this, and it's one of the worst medical conditions that you can have, as you already know. But this marked the start of that time for me. This was a very critical time, as I was on vacation. I was trying to de-stress and get things in track in my life. When I first discovered I had lupus, I read an insert from Wikipedia. It said, get ready for a lot of trips to the hospital, a lot of hospital visits with the doctor. And it shocked me, it scared me. And this is a picture of me in the hospital around 2010 to 2011. And the words I read was reality. And my nightmare was unfolding. It was coming true, and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I was in bed resting right here. I had no procedures done or anything. I guess just was chilling right here. And what was to follow was being overweight. And that's one of my worst nightmares, is being overweight. I fought so hard through my life to get lean and get skinny and be healthy. I wanted to be healthy. As a child, as an adolescent, I grew up overweight, out of shape, and not knowing how to eat, how to function. I suffered through my school age years. I would get talked about. So I said, as an adult, I would take care of my health. I would be lean. I would reverse the trend. I would start being healthier in my adult years. So that was my plan. That was my way of thinking coming up. And surely enough, getting older, I started embarking on that plan, and to combat and to have lupus, which caused me to gain weight. Not only gain weight, take a medication that makes you put on weight. I was devastated. This is one of my iconic, legendary photos of me when I was 23. Lupus had just started attacking my body. We didn't know what it was. And I was figuring fitness out for the first time. I had success at losing weight. The first time in my life, I had success on keeping it off and knowing what I was doing. I used to run like 3 miles a day, and I did a little weight training, but not as organized as I am today. But I was expressing myself. I was finding out who I was. And it marked an achievement in my life. Like, fitness wasn't big in our family. Fitness wasn't, it was a no-show. Nobody desired to be fit. So it was legendary in a sense in that point too, because, I reached a certain goal of fitness, a certain level of fitness, and I kept it. And I looked impressive. As you can see, I'm vascular, I'm muscular, and I'm very proud of this photo, very proud of this achievement. This is 2013, 2014. I'm about 25, 26. And I'm disgusted with myself. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm shocked. I'm surprised that I put on this weight. But as you can see, as you probably don't know, I'm on prednisone. I'm probably on like 60 to 80 milligrams of prednisone. And those of you with lupus know what prednisone is and you know what it does to the body. But anyway, if you don't know, it swells you up. So this is the aftermath. This along with eating wrong, because I was eating that wrong at the time. I was depressed. I was just so mad at the world that after all this time, I discovered how to lose weight. I discovered how to get lean, and bam, I'm hit with lupus. And on top of that, I'm hit with a medication that causes you to be fat. So that was super disturbing for me. That was super depressing. And I slipped into a mode of depression for like 2-3 years. You know, I was deep in depression. And as you can see, I'm disgusted in myself. Like, I just didn't know how to handle it. You know, a lot of hard work to get to where I was. And bam, I'm just cursed with something that's bothering me for my whole life. And you think about that, and it destroyed me for the longest. I'm in this dark hole. And this picture it shows everything about me. You know, I'm flexing right here. I'm just reminiscing on how I used to be fit, and I want to be fit. And you know, it's just a dark time for me right here. You're looking at a thoracentesis procedure where I had fluid build up on my lungs out of nowhere. It was mysterious. They don't know where, how, or wherever it came from. But I had fluid build up just out of nowhere on my lungs, and it caused me heavy breathing. It was hard to breathe. It felt like I was drowning from the inside. But this procedure is called a thoracentesis, where they stick a needle in your back and they aspirate, they pull the fluid off my lungs. And as you can see, it wasn't painful as it was the thought of them going into my back, them could possibly puncture a lung or anything like that. That was always on my mind, so I stayed extremely still. I didn't want any problems from this procedure. It was nerve-wracking to have somebody behind your back. You couldn't see nothing. You didn't know what to expect. You didn't know how your lungs were going to react. In this situation, I didn't have any problems, but I had this procedure done like 12 times between both sides. And I had reactions. You know, my body went in shock a couple times where my lungs wasn't used to breathing, and I couldn't breathe for a short second, and it was horrible. Like, my body started sweating profusely, and I had some trouble with this procedure, but it was nerve-wracking at the time, and it was just mysterious, like lupus is. And to this day, I wonder, why does your lungs fill up with fluid? Like, how? And as you can see, they pulled a lot of fluid out, 2 liters at the end of this. So your body fills up. You got a lot of volume inside your body that's not even occupied, because the fluid can get in there. So the fluid was just so relentless and kept coming back. I decided to have surgery. And you're looking at the aftermath of one of my surgeries. This was the right side. This is like a week or maybe 2 after the surgery. And this is how it looked. And the surgery was super painful. The recovery was the most painful part. The surgery, of course, you don't feel the surgery because you put to sleep. But the recovery is the hardest part. For 5 days, you got to get drained, and they got to watch you, and they got to come check on you. Oh, it's hell. So the recovery part of the surgery was the worstest part. And as you can see, I put on more weight. Depression was getting to me. I was eating everything. My thought process was messed up. I was thinking I was going to die any minute now. So I was like, I can eat anything, you know. So I was really derailed in that sense, because my life was in a downward spin at that time. Long story short, I didn't die. So I was tired of being depressed. I was tired of having a bad story all the time. So I had to come up with a plan And my plan was to weight train and work my way out of my situation. I had to just grab my situation by the horns and take control. So I figured I could do that with diet and exercise. And I started weight training. I started looking into weight training, and I started looking into my diet. And I said, I'm going to beat this. It's impossible to be unhealthy if you putting all good things in your body. Gaining weight is not a huge issue in our society. People need to learn how to lose weight. That's a problem. We got a lot of people who don't know how to lose weight. So the food scale is to help you lose weight. You can put certain amounts on the food scale and be consistent. You have to be consistent with this. And you can learn how much food your body needs in one single day. And you can repeat that and keep repeating that, and you lose weight. The food scale is one of the only ways you can do it. You can be precise to the gram. You can know exactly what you need on a day-to-day basis. You can use my affiliate link in the description box below if you want to order you a food scale so you can get started. And I plan to do a few more videos on the food scale so you can get comfortable with using it and knowing how it works, the functions and everything. So stay tuned for that. This is late 2015. I finally arrived. I finally hit a certain level of fitness. After all of my trial and error through the years, I finally come to a certain level of fitness when I'm really lean. I'm about 187, probably 186 in this photo, and I'm extremely lean. I'm pumped, and a lot of things were going right. My health was on the right track. I had no health issues right here at all. My hair was falling out, of course, or it was thinning out, but I had no health issues. I wasn't seeing the doctor. I was just training. I was focused on my training, and I was in beast mode. I was focused on a certain goal, and it couldn't stop me. It's the combination of eating right and working out. It's just not work out until you get lean. It doesn't work like that. You have to use nutrition first, in my opinion, and then the training is going to supplement whatever you do. This is the conclusion of my in retrospect video. Let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this video. I make videos on lupus, fitness, health, and wellness to be released on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The best way not to miss out on any content like this is to subscribe and hit the bell notification button. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.